I just want to say that growing up in the same house, psychic was pretty wild. But anyways, where I want to start with this, though, is ever since I was a child, immediately after I had my first loss in my life, which was my great-grandfather, he came right back to me. I started seeing him as if he hadn't passed, and my whole family was, devastated. They were, oh gosh, everyone was so full of sorrow, and I couldn't understand it because I would point to him and say, but he's in his garden, he's here. And I used to see him in our house, just walking around, and sometimes he would stop and he would wave. And that was it, and he wouldn't say anything more, but it was such a loving and amazing feeling to know, to look out, and just to see him, and such a peaceful feeling knowing that he's still there. And as I got older, I thought that this was something everyone had, until I got older and realized that people were not having the same experiences that I was having. And at first it was with my loved ones, and after that I was starting to get messages from people in spirit that I didn't know, and were asking me to please pass messages on to their loved ones. And I thought, well, I don't know who your loved one is, but they would flash a picture in my mind. And so, surprisingly enough, a day later, a week later, 2 weeks later, I would meet this person. And I would have to say, I know I just met you, but I really have something very important to tell you. And so, just want to give you a little idea of my process and how it started. But the main thing I love sharing with everyone, let me backtrack a little and explain that as I was growing and I was watching this process happen, one thing I was seeing is this missed communication, like my family with my great-grandfather. Missed communication all the time. I would see people in mourning and in so much pain, and I see their loved one right there with them. And it's just, that's why I love doing this work. I am dedicated to just, really letting people know what to look for, what they're trying to tell you, how to be open to it. And where I want to start is the first thing when they come through to me that they want everyone to know is, first of all, I made it. I made it. I'm healthy again. I'm happy again. I made it. They're in a beautiful place where they're celebrating with other family members, and they want you to know that they're okay. And they come right back around to visit you because they want to bring some comfort and peace to you also. And also, what's very interesting is not only do they just want to connect with us, they want to guide us. They want to help us. And it's amazing what they can do. So another thing they start talking about is how our connection is really love. Love is our connection. I talk to people, and we both do psychic development classes, but I tell people all the time, you don't have to have any psychic skills or gifts. You just have to keep that love alive. And so the first thing that you would want to do when someone passes is just let them know that I know that you're happy and healthy again. I know you're okay, and I know as soon as you can, you're going to give me a sign. I guarantee you'll get a sign. I guarantee you. And then when you do get that sign, it's important to know what it means. First, when they come through, they're letting you know, I'm okay, and I'm here for you, and I'm watching over you. And after that, what you want to pay attention to is when you get signs, if you start thinking, boy, every time, I was doing a reading with this man, this was about a month ago or so, and I told him, I said he keeps, his uncle came through, and I said, he keeps leaving you coins. I said, look for the heads of pennies. And he said, my uncle collected pennies his whole life. He would pull them out and show us the pennies. So it's usually something that you could connect to them. And then what you want to realize is when you start seeing these signs in your everyday life, you want to start thinking about what's going on in your life. What were you just thinking about in that moment when you saw that sign? How are they trying to guide you and help you? Because it's amazing that they can create miracles for us. It's amazing that they can help us. They can help guide us through our lifetime here. And it's just so important for me to share this because I just so don't want to see that miscommunication anymore. And then what you want to do is when you're comfortable with it, start inviting them in. Ask them to come in dreams, or any way that they can come in. Ask that you're comfortable with. Ask them through electricity. Give them a little direction. They do want to feel like you're ready for them. They don't want to scare you. They don't want to overwhelm you. They want to know, so give them permission. Give them permission to be, visiting. And And I'm sure that you will start getting these signs, I'm sure. Dreams are the hardest, I shouldn't say the hardest, but sometimes it takes time. If you want to have a dream experience, you just keep asking for it, and eventually it seems to happen for people. But my main message that they always come through with is how much they're trying to get through to you and let you know that we still have this connection. I'm still watching over you in your everyday life. I see what you're doing. And it's important because you need to, I call it putting them on task. Okay, so you want to give them projects. You want to kind of put out there and say, Dad, I wish you were here because you were really good in this area. You could help me if you were here. And if there's anything you can do, let me know. It's amazing. It's amazing what they can do for us. Sometimes we're faced with issues in life that we can't see any way around here. We can't, this is above us. You just put it up to Spirit. And I know that sounds very simple, but if you can get in a habit of this, you will really start feeling your loved ones around. In a little bit, I'll leave a few minutes for questions too. So it's important that, oh gosh, let's see, where do I start here? Okay, so it's important to really pay attention also to, like my sister was saying, when you get that feeling, when you smell that perfume, or when you just get a feeling that that person is with you, it's a great time to acknowledge them. Acknowledging them is important because then they go, okay, this is working. They'll continue the communication. They're always around us trying, but it really, really does help if you can say, okay, I know this is you. What are you trying to tell me? Give me another sign, or and just talk to them like you would in life, whether it's in your mind or out loud, and just talk to them. And it's interesting because once you kind of get a rhythm with it, you see things kind of flowing differently in your life. You're realizing, boy, all I have to do is recognize they're here, recognize that they can still help me, and life starts flowing for me a little bit easier. And another thing that they mentioned a lot is the importance, because they cannot impede on our spiritual growth and they cannot impede on our free will. So the other thing that's really important to know is you want to be able to definitely ask for their guidance, but be sure that you're taking that step. We always have to be moving in life. We always have to be taking that step. And in other words, someone may be wanting this new job, but deciding, do I take this job that isn't going to get me where I need to be, or do I wait for this one? Well, take that step, because that's when they can step in. Take that first step, and then you'll be guided to where you need to be. Again, I want to point out that we have to do the work here. We have to do the work, but that we do get this guidance. We absolutely do. I'll give you just a few little examples here. Okay. When my great uncle had passed away, everyone was, of course, devastated. And I went home and I just talked to him and I said, I know you're well again. I know you're doing great. I know you'll give me a sign when you can. I just have faith in it. And about a week later, I came home from work. I'm the only one, in my house and that has access to it. And I came home and I noticed my daughter's picture was off the wall in the hallway. And so I thought, well, that's strange. And so I walk in the hallway, look to the left at my bedroom, the entrance of my bedroom, and it's laying lovingly right in the entrance of my bedroom. And I just said to him, thank you, I know that's you. And ever since then, I've been getting, guidance and signs from him. And whenever I'm thinking, like, okay, I need to make a choice here, which direction am I going to go? I'll see that penny, I'll get that sign. And it really is a great way to stay connected. It really is. I had a man that I was doing a group, this was about a group reading that I was doing about a month ago. And so I was just going about doing my thing, and in groups I just kind of pull through energy that wants to come through and connect them to people that are in the room. And And so this man came in and his father came through for him. He validated himself by giving his name and information about himself that no one in the room or me would have known. And so he was really touched by that. And then let's see, I think it was about a week later, he was already scheduled to come in for a private reading. And what was funny in the group is that sometimes I tell people, sometimes the information won't fit with anyone, but please keep it in the back of your mind because it will make sense at some point in time. And so I can remember standing up there and saying, look, you guys, I know this is so vague, and this is all that I'm getting, but I have to mention a pillowcase. I said, that's all I'm getting is a pillowcase. Did anyone order a pillowcase? Does anyone have any special pillowcase? And everyone's going, huh, you know. And I said, I know, and we laughed it off, and I said, it's just one of those things, but it's going to mean something to someone. So this man came in for his reading, and I noticed as he's sitting there the whole hour, he has this fabric wrapped up on his lap. And so I thought, well, I'll wait till the end before I ask him about that. And so we did the reading, and then he was holding it, and he said, Matt, can I tell you what this is? And I said, yeah, I'm kind of curious. And he said, this is a pillowcase. And he unwrapped it, and he said, this is a pillowcase that he said, it's not in my house. It's not a pillowcase that I have. He said, it just literally came out of nowhere. He said, I searched to see if I could have had pillowcases I was unaware of in my house. I mean, he went through all of the steps that's good to just kind of validate, you know. And then he said, I don't know what to make of this, but this is the pillowcase. And I said, that's the beautiful thing of spirit. That's the beautiful thing of our loved ones in spirit, is they're constantly trying to, you know, that was from his father, just saying, pillowcase, pillowcase, you know, let me put that out there. And then suddenly having this random experience with a pillowcase in his house, knowing that his father's watching over him, knowing that he's in his house at that moment, knowing that he's seeing what he's going through, because he was going through a very hard time. And, you know, just being able to see that to have that comfort that he knew that his father was there. And that's continually what they will do. I've been working with people for a long time that will start having very amazing experiences. So all I really want to do is just invite people to kind of leave that door open, kind of leave it open for experiences. There's so much I could go on and on about this, and but let's see, maybe does anyone have any questions at this point?